Hello everyone, I'm Keato, the vocalist of Accuser the Brethren, and you're watching Metal Mandate. Probably back in, I don't know, I'd say 2011 or so, I started to want to do like vocal covers. I actually learned how to scream. Surprisingly, a lot of people don't know this, but I actually learned how to scream to Upon a Burning Body. I was doing a part in that song, and I was like singing along to it, and I did like a fry scream, and I was like, oh shit, that's how it goes. And then I kind of just started like working on that more and more, and I started doing vocal covers. And I've always wanted to be in a band. I always thought being in a band would be like the coolest thing, you know? Being on stage, performing for people. Like I'm not a great public speaker, but I love being on stage, like performing for people, you know. So that was kind of always like the goal and the dream. So yeah, doing vocal covers, and then coincidentally, I was like, that's how I was found was for that. So. My most memorable performance, man, we've had a few of them. Honestly, I'd probably have to say Havoc Fest. This most recent one we played this year. Played with Kitty, and that is pretty crazy to me. I think in 7th grade, I got a CD from some random goth girl at school. She gave me a mix CD, and I was like, it had a bunch of metal on it. And in 7th grade, I didn't really know too much about metal at the time, but I remember track 4. I had no idea what it was, but I loved it, and it was Spit by Kitty. And I remember going into school the next day being like, you know, what is track 4? And because it's just a burned CD, you know. And she told me it was this band named Kitty, and I was like, oh man, that's awesome. And I fell in love with Kitty. So full circle, you know, 20 years later, 30 years later almost, and now I'm on sharing a stage with them. So that was pretty cool. That was probably my most memorable show. Well, the voice. I actually don't know how to play like guitar or drums. Not that I haven't tried, I just don't have the coordination. The hand-eye coordination to play drums and strum guitar and everything. I can play a wicked air guitar and air drums. I can do that really well, but voice was always like my go-to. I have a lot of singers in my family, so you know, I kind of pursued that. Grow my voice into that. So. In a professional setting, it was probably back when I was still in Immortal Insight. And we did play a few like professional shows. A couple of like festivals and things like that. Off the top of my head, probably the first like actual like professional performance that we did was, I want to say Homegrown Throwdown in like 2015 maybe. And we had to like learn a cover. I think we did a cover of a Godsmack song, and you know, performed in front of like judges, and there was with Homegrown Throwdown, there's things that at stake to win, you know. So probably Homegrown Throwdown was like the first like professional like show that we put together, but we've played a few since. So favorite show I've ever played. I think it would be a toss-up. There was a weekend run that we did back in April. It was when we filmed the music video for Glass Joe. If anybody, I don't know if there's ever seen that. We did a back-to-back that weekend. So we did Max Bar for the video shoot, and then the very next day we played with Dead Nerves and Crocodile. And the reason I say that series of shows was my favorite was probably because you guys, the people that showed out for it, was insane. And we have actually looked up to Dead Nerves for quite some time. They've been some Michigan heavyweights for a while. And we tried to play shows with them when we were in Moreland site, and it just, things never worked out or whatever. And when this opportunity came about, it was kind of another full circle type thing, it was just cool, it was great sharing stage with people that we look up to, I'd have to say last year when we went to South Carolina. We went down there to play the Total Death Fest. We actually rode down in a camper on the back of a truck. And we just camped out there for like the weekend and then drove back. That was a super fun time. Drive down and the drive back, and that whole weekend was we're all very close quarters, so we had a lot of bonding time on that road trip, but that was a lot of fun. Well, I don't know if anybody has heard of this. There's a band called Let It Rock. And one time they shot a music video, and it was for a song that I was featured in, and this was a behind-the-scenes thing that I don't know if everyone has seen, but there is a TikTok of it, so if you want, you can definitely go find it. I'm pretty sure it's on the official Let It Rock TikTok page, actually. But there was a moment where Brandon, the vocalist, came walking up to us, and he had a sandwich in his hand. And I don't know why it's so funny to me, but when he approached me, the group of us, he just put the sandwich out forward, and he went, "Want some?" And it seems silly and not that funny, but like in the moment, I was dying. And so then I returned the favor to him. And that's also on video, and I walk up to him, and I offer him a sandwich in the same manner, and he's in the middle of drinking a Coke, and the only response he can provide is a very deep-seated belch, and it was, I don't know, I just die laughing. Like, anytime I need a good laugh, I head over to the Let It Rock TikTok page, and I watch those videos, so do yourself a favor and go watch those. Any local bands? That's a tough one, man. There's a lot of good talent in Michigan here. But like I said, like would I be going in as like a secondary vocalist? If I was going in as like a secondary vocalist, I don't know. I'd probably have to say either Implicator or Dead Nerves. But I don't know. I guess it's hard to say that because I can't really replace anybody. Everybody has their own style, and they're like most of like the vocalists in these bands are like they're like the perfect vocalist for that band. You know what I mean? So it's like, but to go as a secondary, I'd probably say like Implicator. Just because I think my style kind of matches that energy a little bit, So, yeah. And those guys are fucking cool. Any national band? I mean, probably. Shit, man, that's a tough one. Because again, it's like trying to replace, you know, like being in Traders would be tight, but but I ain't no Tyler Shelton, you know what I mean? Man, international band. Yeah, I'd have to say one of those guys, man. I mean, it'd be cool. I mean, it'd be cool to be in like Traders or Body Snatcher or, you know, the Kublai Khan, but again, you know, that those are another example of like the local bands having like the perfect vocalist, you know what I mean? So, but I would do my best. I would do my best. For sure, Tyler Shelton, Kyle Medina from Body Snatcher, dude from Kublai Khan, Spite, Darius. I would love to have a collab with Darius. Jamie Hanks from I Declare War. He would be a sweet one. His voice is amazing. R.I.P. But Trevor Strand. Or Strnad, however you say Trevor's last name. He would have been a cool one to have. I also really like the dude, I don't know his name, but the vocalist from Fox Lake. He's a great vocalist. I would love to have that guy featured on something. That'd be really cool. Three. I only put three. I would have to say Traders is number one. That's like they're a big inspiration on me, Traders. So number one is Traders. Number two, there's a band that a lot of people don't know about, or they've slightly been forgotten because they only made one album, they made like one album, one EP, and then they quit. There's a band called Moralist, and Moralist is fucking amazing, and they have like several features from a lot of the people that that I look up to. So, and then my third favorite probably would be, it's a toss up between Kublai Khan and Fox Lake. They're tied, so I'm gonna give you those. Man, I was a 90s kid. 90s alternative has a big spot in my heart. I mean, I love me some Alanis Morissette. I'll jam that all day, this one's gonna fuck up quite a few of you, but look up a band called McFly. They are a like rock kind of. I guess they're more a little on the rock side, but they're from the UK. They're like a boy band, I guess, but not really like a boy band. They, like I said, they're more on the more on the rock side of things. You know, they play all their own instruments and they're mostly like guitars and drums and stuff, but they are not what you would think I might listen to. But McFly's sweet, and you should check them out. So. Well, I mean, like most millennials, I like to video game, and I mean, mostly like going out with friends, and I guess it's kind of a hobby, but something a lot of people don't know is that I actually collect Spawn figures. I have quite a large collection of the like Todd McFarlane style like Spawn figures, the big, elaborate, well detailed ones. I have a lot of other things. I also collect like Dragon Ball Z figures. I have a crap ton from when I was a kid. I have some like rare things like I have a set of the original figures from when Final Fantasy VII first came out in Japan. They only made about 500 of these, or like 1,000 of them. And I have five of like the 7 characters that they made. And those are pretty cool. They're worth quite a bit of money, but it's one of those things, it's like, I don't know, it's hard for me, it'd be hard for me to let go of those, so it's just a cool thing to have. So I like to collect stuff like that. I travel as much as I can, when I can. Obviously, Michigan, we know how Michigan is, and when the winter time comes, you just kind of hermit down, or you find somewhere to get out of the state for a bit, you guys, honestly, I love performing, man. It's like the one thing that brings me the most joy is going on stage, man. Like some people don't understand how I can get up there in front of so many people, and I know a lot of other like fellow band people that sometimes get really nervous when they go on stage. I get like an excited nervous. I get nervous sometimes when I play in front of big crowds, but it's like the more people, the more excited I am to go out there. So, like, I find it actually harder to play shows to small crowds. Playing a show to 10 people would be more nerve-wracking to me than playing a show to like 25. It's kind of like when I do karaoke. Karaoke also scares the fucking shit out of me. I hate doing karaoke because I get nervous and like my knees shake when I do karaoke. But then when I go on stage with my band in front of hundreds of people, it's totally different. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because the karaoke machine's so cold and it doesn't care. It just keeps going. My band, at least I know, I vibe with them. So, but yeah, man, performing is big, and that's a big piece for me. That's why I love doing it. I also just like evolving my voice and finding new avenues. I like trying different things, just expanding like my vocal range, and singing is like my favorite thing. I love singing. If you work with me or are around me ever, I will sing all the time. If there's somebody says something that's a line from a song, most likely I'm probably gonna start singing that song for you. But singing is just, it has my heart, man, and that's what I love most about it. So. Oh, nice to learn about me. Maybe that I grew up in the South? I don't know. I'm not a Michigan-born native. I was born in Virginia, but I lived there for like less than a year. I never moved, but pretty much grew up in Georgia my entire life. And most people see my presence on stage, and they think that I'm this big scary guy. And then when they find out what I do for work, but I work for like an assisted living, and I help take care of the elderly. And obviously at work I can't be the big scary guy that you see on stage, so that's kind of like a day and night thing for me, go to work and I'm I have this different persona, but in reality it's just me. I'm just the same everywhere I go, but a lot of people don't think that that's what I would do for work, but well, currently we have AOTV is playing Rock Lansing on May 9th. we will be doing the kickoff party at Grey Wall Hall. It's a hometown show. We'll be joined by Black No Graffiti, Let It Rot, and A Virtue is headlining. And then the very next day is Rock Lansing. You can get tickets to that. Hit us up. We'll all have physical tickets. There's online choices. Personally, I am working on a couple of projects with a few people that you'll be seeing come out soon. Right now I'm working on a collab with the vocalist from Shakedown. And I have like 2 other projects I'm working on that I can't really talk about at the moment, but I'll be having those come out real soon, so keep an eye out for that. Bass track or bass drops, huh?
Moncton?
Is that a rally version? Oh. Hello everyone, I'm the vocalist of Accuser. Oh fuck.
Moncton?
Oh yeah, fucking let it rock. I'm on a fucking elevator, bitch. What's up, bitch? This is high class society. This thing's slow as fuck, though. For real, though, dog. Like, this building ain't that big, dog.